Okay, good evening, traders. Let's do an audio and visual check. How's everybody doing tonight? Good evening. Let's make sure you guys can all see and hear me okay. Great. Good evening. Welcome, Hoop. Everybody. Oh, man. It's been a long day for me, as you guys could tell. Just talking and talking. I've been in meetings. I was in a power hour for 30 minutes. But let's get to it. Let's go ahead. I'm Coach Dakota, Coach DBA. As always, I posted our Top Step risk disclosure. As you can see behind me, we are going to be talking about the live markets. We're going to be analyzing live markets, and I'm going to be talking about trading concepts about the live markets. That being said, everything is for educational purposes only. That's the reason for the disclosure. And as we go through tonight, always feel free to ask questions if I do miss them, which mostly I do. We have an amazing team that will be feeding me some of the questions. And on that note, I was on Power Hour today, if you guys did catch that. And I think there was one in particular person or two, Dakota doesn't answer questions, or he just says, go back and watch it, or come join me during slow markets. Well, guess what? It is slow markets. That, during Power Hour, during, key times, it's not the time and it's not the place for trying to get questions answered. TopStep is so amazing. They give this stuff, out here on the YouTube for free. And so just be grateful for what we do have here with Topstep. I wish I had this when I was learning how to trade. Access to traders, access to coaches, and being able to ask questions and get those questions answered. It is slow markets. I want to answer questions during my slow markets time. You guys know I'll analyze a market. I'll talk. I'll answer some questions. We have an amazing moderator. They'll be feeding me questions as well. I cannot get to all questions. We have a lot of traders here at TopStep, and I try to get to them. But let's jump into it. You can see I have a gold short that's actually starting to move. I'm short gold. We've been in quite the rally. You guys could see this is an hourly chart on gold, and I'm short. You can see I'm in 2 express funded accounts, 2 contracts each on this gold short. And let me talk about this. Let me go through here. Okay, let's talk about it. Why am I short? Why did I get in it? And, what's my take profit, stop loss, and all that fun stuff. So we're in a very, very extended run. If we look at the daily chart on gold, you can see it's just been up and to the right since, basically February 14th. Since, what's February 14th? Is that a special day about gold? Is it Valentine's Day? So pretty much since around Valentine's Day, we've just been skyrocketing up. We went up, we hit, 23,080s, 80, what is this, 85 maybe? Let's see, 23,000, 84 and a half, right? And we've just been going up and to the right. And you can see just every single day, there has not really been any pullbacks. We got a little bit of consolidation and a pullback, near the end of March, but nothing since, right? If we zoom into a 60-minute chart, it's been the same story. We could see it a little bit better, but it's essentially the same story. Just going up and to the right. We had, some pullbacks. I did catch a nice short, I think, over here. I'm expecting and looking for gold to have a pullback. Maybe we could see 23,050 again. That's not out of the possibility. Do I want to be holding this going into the crazy news that's going to be tomorrow? Probably not. This is going to be something where I plan to close it before any of the volatility kicks in for the news tomorrow. So what I'm looking at and the way I'm seeing this is we do see some, and this is an hourly chart on gold. I see some clear pivot points, and pivot points, that was the question. you could see we're making higher lows and we were making higher highs. Well, today was a little bit of a key that I seen. We had some, sellers come in and push the market down right here. And we ran up, and this was the last pivot point, 2372. We started to consolidate, and we started to see some weakness here. I went ahead and got into some 4 contract short because it's copied between 2 XFAs. So technically, I'm 4 contracts short. I'm up about $1,800, $1,600 on this particular trade. What I'm looking for is a move down. I don't know how far we could go if we do. I'm looking at this as maybe a shoulder, head, shoulder. Is that a possibility? Maybe. I'm not 100%. I'm talking through this trade live in front of you guys. This is what I'm thinking about. It's very raw. It's not planned. It's not formal. This is the way I trade. And this is what I'm thinking about. The first area I do see us getting to is maybe the lower 60s. We're almost there. Let's zoom into a 5-minute chart, and maybe we could zoom in and granulize it a lot better. You could see the beautiful drawings here that I was drawing. And we're selling off. I might have to, this is a decent trade. I'm going to move my stop loss above that point. And so the first area I'm seeing, we're kind of getting there now. We have a lot of resistance. You can see over here above me on my top left, we have a lot of resistance here. Of course, resistance here. I mean, this is a decent zone for support and resistance. If we break down, as I'm watching this, maybe we break down live in front of us. This could be the first area I'm looking at right here. We found support here around 2364. If we do sell off, which we are doing, maybe I look to close off 1 contract. Actually, you know what? We're starting to sell off. Let's go ahead and get out of 1 contract, get into a risk-free trade. There's 1 contract, locking in some profit. So there we go. Let's see. Here's my night so far in my express funded accounts. I just started these yesterday, April 9th. Actually, I lied. I just started these yesterday. Locked in $600, and here we are. We're continuing to sell off. I think I might just let this one run. See how far we could go. If we do break this, then the next area is maybe 60. Man, you know what? I'm just going to get out of it, and I'm going to worry, and if we get a pullback, I'll re-enter. I'm just going to focus on doing that. So there we go. A quick $1,300, $2,700 in 10 minutes. This was one where, we see profit, take profit. I'm taking a short. If we pull back, I'll get in again. If we sell off, too bad. I'm in class. I don't want to be holding this trade for very long anyway because of, like I said, the craziness that's going to be happening tomorrow. And this is only like my 3rd gold trade since I started trading gold. Very simple, very easy, same strategy, same technique that I trade these other markets. So the Indian feather question: how long is your average trade? It depends. It really depends. Let me show you. I think this is a good point because I finished talking about gold. I feel like that was a fair analysis of gold just in that trade, in and out. I think it will show my executions. There we go. Here, let me zoom in. Then you guys can see because I have traders always asking me, where did you get in? How did you get in? Where did you get out? And how did you get out? Well, I think that kind of just shows you the story of that particular trade. This does not happen all the time. I didn't take it in my live account. I was a little bit too slow getting into my live account, which is fine. I'm okay. I mean, XFA to me is as good as live, right? Because we get a payout for it. Yeah, that was one heck of a trade. Anyway, let me answer that question by going over to my trader dashboard on the Topstep website. So I just go to the Topstep website, and the dashboard there is amazing. I look at it all the time. Almost, I don't want to say daily, but I look at it relatively often. Let me see if I can pull up this. Okay, there we go. There's this. Here we go. This is my live account. I'm at 106,000. And if we scroll here, you can see the markets that I trade. Gold, the Nikkei, the NASDAQ. And yeah, here we are pushing the lows here on gold again. And then crude oil. And each one, I look at these statistics individually, right? Here's the overview of all of my trading. It's 1-to-1, which seems a little weird. Lately, I've been taking profit, but my average winning trade is about 1 hour. My average losing trade is about 30 minutes. Now, that will change depending on how I'm trading, whether I'm trading the New York session, whether it's my slow markets class. It really, really depends. It's very hard to say, this is my overall average winner, average loser. I like to split it up between the markets, and I also like to split it up whether I'm trading the New York session or I'm trading the slow markets. When I'm trading the slow markets class, my average trade is much longer. I place these trades, and I will go to bed, and it could be 6 hours, 7 hours, 8 hours plus. During the New York session, it's maybe in the minutes, maybe an hour, maybe 2 hours. So it really depends. So here's gold. Here are my gold trades average. Where are we at? So yeah, there's my ugly loser in gold. That was ugly. 1 hour, 30 minutes. Then we go to Nikkei. And so Nikkei is my overnight trading. Right, you can see the hold times are a bit longer, almost 2 hours to 1 hour there. The NASDAQ, I don't hold it overnight, so you can see how my NASDAQ hold times, which I primarily trade during the New York session, is about 40 minutes and 17 minutes. So that's a big difference because I trade the NASDAQ primarily during fast markets. So you can see there's a dramatic difference between my NASDAQ, 39 minutes for my winners, 17 minutes for my losers. And then the Nikkei, which I primarily trade for overnights, is almost 2 hours to 5 hours. And then, of course, crude oil this one is about the opposite, right? And then the expectancy, right? Here's the expectancy. You can see I have a much better risk reward on crude oil lately. So that's it. There's my live account. You guys can see it. Okay, now let's go ahead and talk about the NASDAQ. The NASDAQ, this is what I'm going to be trading tomorrow. This is going to be something that I am going to be watching. There's going to be a lot of volatility tomorrow in terms of all the news events, everything that's going to be happening. We have FOMC minutes. We have inflation data. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be going on tomorrow, and we are expecting a lot of volatility. Which direction? We have no idea, right? Anything can happen. Today is just one of those days where it's just a barcoding, right? Here we are. There's been, you could pretty much draw a box around this on the daily, right? And sure enough, that's it. The market's been in this big consolidation since March. It's been selling these highs, buying these bottoms. The market seems like it's kind of waiting for something to happen, waiting for more information on rate cuts. We have a lot of world events that's going on. Is this just a pullback and a consolidation for a move higher? Maybe. Or maybe we break down and, test some of these lows. We are not really sure. I think tomorrow we're going to get a more clear picture of which way the market wants to go and what's the market doing. I'm a bull, so I am really looking for the market to rally and break all-time highs. That would be my bias on which way the market I want to go. But if we do sell off, then we do have to trade what's in front of us. If we zoom into a 60-minute chart. This kind of tells the story, and I was going over this just a little bit during Power Hour. It's just barcoding, right? This is a barcoding. It's consolidating. Everyone's waiting. It's up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. Today we had just bigger barcodes. We sold off. We went right back up, and that's it. Dobie's been trading this. I mean, Dobie's a range trader, and I believe he has an amazing strategy for this type of a market environment, and it's great to see. Here's the thing. When we have a day that is like tomorrow, all technical analysis is kind of just thrown out the window. So any technical analysis that I have right now based off these last few days should not have any effect on how I'm going to be trading tomorrow, because there's going to be so much news and so much volatility. So essentially, we have the news, and as soon as the news hits, as soon as FOMC minutes hits, it's just technical analysis out the window. Let's just trade the price action that's in front of us. Jeff Cooley, are they going to add micros? We do have micros here at Topstep. But I believe what you mean is the ratio to micros to minis. It sounds like they will be adding that into Topstep X. It's something that they're working on. It's something that I'm excited for. And it's going to be really cool to see. Blaome, what's your strategy? You guys see my strategy here every single night. I will always just recommend joining me nightly to talk about my strategy. Yeah, that's it. I talk about it. I'm talking about it tonight. I'm going to continue to talk about it and go through. Jeff Cooley, they say they will fix micros. Should be easier to do 20 micros versus 2 minis. I mean, it depends on what you're doing, right? Like eventually you don't want to do 50 micros. It's a lot easier to do, 5 minis if you're going to go that. I think micros, where it comes to the advantage to micros, is where we have smaller accounts and we're working on scaling in and scaling out on these smaller accounts, and position management is where micros really shine. Smaller accounts and position management. If you get to like 3, 4, 5 contracts on the minis, then it's a lot better to do minis rather than micros because of the expenses side, right? Dakota, we talked about this last night. It'll be easier to scale in and out. Yep. When's the official release date of Topstep X? I don't know the official release date. I don't think that it has been announced, but I do know when I'm watching Topstep TV, MP has been saying, maybe around the next month or two. I'm not sure. Like I said, I do not have an official release date, but I watch Topstep TV just as much as you guys, and MP has been really great at, giving information, right? You're a permanent bull, but do you have a feel for what might happen tomorrow? Jim Carlton. Yeah, so I'm a perma bull, but my gut instinct and the way the market's been reacting and the way, and so this is full disclosure. I gave our Topstep risk disclosure in the chat. Let me talk a little bit about what I think the market's going to do tomorrow. In terms of how it's going to react. I feel like the market has just been in this very optimistic bubble, and they do not see the writing on the wall. And I've been saying this for a while, right? The Fed has been saying higher for longer, and everyone's been so focused on the very positive outlook. We're cutting rates, inflation's over. I feel like tomorrow is going to be a reality check of we are really going to be having higher interest rates for longer, and inflation is more sticky than what people realize. So I feel like, and like I said, my feel is just as good as this magic 8 ball. I don't trade off of it. It's just a theory. So if anything, I think there's a lot of fear. And if there is anything that happens tomorrow with a hot inflation, with words that the Fed says or in the minutes, there's a lot more room to the downside than there is the upside. So I think that's the one thing I'm looking at going in tomorrow. Whereas if I was to draw a probability box, if I was to draw some type of percentage, okay, if this is the move of tomorrow, and this, let's see. Let's see if I could do this. And I just want to try and explain this visually, what I'm thinking in my head. Okay, if this is tomorrow's move, let's make it more realistic. Okay, so let's say this is going to be the move for tomorrow. Okay, the way that I am seeing this is there's going to be more room to the downside than there is the upside. So it's like, it's going to be something like this. If we do sell off tomorrow, we could see a big sell-off. However, if we do rally tomorrow, I don't think the rallies would be as big as if we sold off. So I think it's going to look something something like this. Like, this is more about probabilities. I think it would be like this. If we sell off, we have more room to the downside versus if we rally, because there's going to be a lot more people that are disappointed, more fear into the markets. There's going to be a lot more people that just, wants to get out. So I think this is what I'm looking for. Now, this is 100% my opinion. It's as good as a magic 8-ball. Anything can happen. We do not know what's going to be there. But as a trader, this is going to be what I'm going to be looking at. So there we go. I think that's it. Anyway, that being said, I just want volatility. I don't care if it goes up or down. In terms of my trading, I just want movement. I like volatility. We'll see how it goes. Yeah, it's a fill, but we have to be ready. You got calls on Tesla? Okay, we're going to do some questions, and then I'm going to move on to the next market. Yeah, as you guys can see, tonight is going to be more of some Q&A. It's going to be a lot less trading because tomorrow's a big news event, and I don't really want to be holding into a position. That was the big trade for me tonight. I made $2,700 on 5-10 minutes, and that was good enough for me tonight. I think I'm happy with that. We'll continue to do the analysis, but I definitely do not want to be caught in a trade holding going into a day like tomorrow. As a new trader, I am going to stay on the sidelines. Troy, that is 100% the best decision. As a new trader, it is probably best to stay on the sidelines. I mean, I wouldn't even recommend trading a demo account. And the reason being is if you trade a demo account tomorrow and you make good money in a demo account and then you try and do it in a live account and just get destroyed, that's even worse, right? So even trading on a demo account, in my opinion, would be ill-advised because you don't want to practice bad habits in a demo account, because then if you make money, you're going to want to try and do that in a live account, right? Rips is in the house. Man, Rips is everywhere. Rips trading this morning. If you guys want to learn how to trade fast markets, to be honest, he's the guy. He caught the beautiful sell-off on the NASDAQ, and I wish I could trade like Rips, that fast market. So there's the piece of advice. Just watch Rips. Watch Rips trade momentum. What did Andre say? Uncle Mo? Uncle Mo is what we're calling it. Momentum trader. His best friend is Uncle Mo. Is that what we're going to say? All right, let's move on to the next market. Let's look at Nikkei. Nikkei was an interesting one. This is the one that I made my money on yesterday. So let me switch to my live account real briefly. Actually, you know what? Yeah, let me switch to my live account. It'll take a moment to switch. As I'm waiting for my live account to switch over, let's look at Nikkei. So here was Nikkei last night. We've been selling off. This is still a bullish market. However, this is a bullish market, and we're experiencing an intermediate downtrend. Because if we look at a bigger time frame, so here's a bigger time frame. Let's look at a 60-minute chart. And I'm going to explain my thought process for my trades. Here we go. This is a bullish market. As you guys could see, it's fairly obvious and fairly straightforward. I could even continue to zoom out, right? We have been going up and to the right. This is a bull market. We still have a lot of bullish momentum into this market. We had a pullback in March and then immediately rallied up and sold all-time highs. We're having a pullback now, and then the question is, are we going to go up and make all-time highs? This, to me, what you guys see is what I consider an intermediate trend. To me, these are intermediate trends. I mean, we could zoom in and we could say this is a smaller trend, right? So this is a trend amongst a trend. We have the bigger overall trend, which is, either spanning out within a month, 2 months, whatever it is. However, there's a lot more fear going into what we're seeing now, and there's a lot more risk at breaking this trend and breaking down. But in order for me to say this is no longer a bear trend, I would need to see Nikkei break below this previous support, because we're still making higher lows on this higher trend. And of course, you could say, see these little small pivots, right? This is a strong trend. As soon as we break that, we're still on the bigger term. I could zoom out to the daily and explain it to you. Because markets are fractal and it depends on what time frame you're looking. And of course, if you zoom in, then sure enough, all you're going to see is what we've been seeing, this huge downtrend for the past few weeks. This is the downtrend. So what I was looking at last night, and I kind of explained it a little bit, is we're bullish, right? And what we've been doing is, whenever we come down to these lows of this, channel, whatever you want to call this, they have been great buying opportunities to look for a rally. And sure enough, last night was one of them. And up now I am in my live account. So here's my live account. And I'm going to start to zoom in, because that's what we do, because I love to zoom in when I trade. We looked at the bigger time frame. We know what the bigger time frame is, the longer time frame, whatever. We've seen the overall bias. Now we start to zoom in and we start to trade this. So what I was looking for is, we had this really big sell-off, right? And we started to rally. Then we got this beautiful pullback. And let me show you these trades. Okay. So you can see most of these are. So even if it says external, that only means because I'm using my phone or it's being executed using something else. So as we start to zoom in, let me get this out of the way. So what I was looking for, and everybody probably knows this, is, guess what? This was support. And what happens with support? Support becomes resistance. Sure enough, it's weird how accurate sometimes this could be. If we zoom in here, you guys could see this is a 5-minute chart. And that is what I was looking for. If I put these executions, you could see where I was a buyer. There's my target. Everyone, you guys could see my target right about there in that zone as we approach that level. And now if we start to zoom in, we are making these higher lows. And there's a lot of bullish, we're making equal highs, and there was a decent probability of us rallying up and breaking out. Now, if we zoom in, now remember, this is taken in my live account. And when I've been trading my live account recently, it's been in series of 3 contracts. As you can see, 3 contracts. When I bought here, going, and I added here. I tried to close out of 3 here. It only let me fill in 2. We sold off. We got a nice reversal. I added those 2. Those 2 I sold up here. I added back in. So I was 6 contracts. I got out of 1. And then I got out of the rest up here when we got into close to the 850s. So that was my trade. That was $800 or not $800, $8,000 on this one trade. This is where I made most of my money, where you wake up and you wake up to a nice green day. Then I traded the NASDAQ. As you guys could see, I don't really want to go through all those trades on the NASDAQ because it was a bit of a mess. Buying and selling, buying and selling. So yeah, that was it. The way I'm looking at the Nikkei now is very much I think even these other markets are going to be waiting for tomorrow as well. I really do. Where if anything, we're making lower highs. So we could see the Nikkei sell back down into this, 39,500 level. This seems to be the consolidation, right? Very similar like we were seeing the consolidation on the NASDAQ, right? Bar coding. We might see that here, right? Are we going to look back tomorrow night, or are we going to look back even, say, a few hours from now and say the same thing, right? Like, hey, this was consolidation, very similar to the NASDAQ. And guess what? It sell up here, buy down here, consolidating. So it makes sense that we trade as if it was a range. So that's what I'm looking at. Good vibe. No, this is a 5-minute chart, but all my analysis is done on higher time frames. So I do my analysis on these higher time frames, and then I zoom in to granulize and fine tune that. As I'm doing that, I do see something. We're seeing a lot of resistance here. We broke out, and now we're seeing the same thing. So I'm a little bit more biased now that we could see a sell-off down even further. So that being said, right, we failed to break up and we sold back down, and now, this was prior resistance. Resistance, it came support here, but it's not support anymore. Resistance is now resistance again. So we very well could sell off on the Nikkei. But that being said, we do have the big news tomorrow, and I do not want to hold a trade overnight tonight. Let me zoom back in. We have some traders talking about NASDAQ. Yeah, NASDAQ hasn't moved very much. Let's get to some more questions. Like I said, tonight's going to be a little bit slow. We have news tomorrow, and I want to go through. Since I'm not trading, I might as well just answer questions, right? Jim Carlton, no, I've stopped looking at that lately, mainly because we've been very choppy, and it seems like everyone's been waiting for tomorrow. So maybe after tomorrow, I'll take a look at the DOM a little more on the Nikkei. When you decide that trend is broken and it's time to shift from bullish to bearish, so this comes from Tamimi, I think I hope I pronounced that right. When do I decide a trend is broken and it's time to shift from bullish to bearish? So it depends on the time frame, right? But essentially, it doesn't really matter the time frame. Here's an example, okay? This is the NASDAQ. You could pretend this is the daily, hourly, 5-minute, 1 minute. It's all the same thing because it is fractal, right? The market's fractal. And it depends on what you're looking at. This is a 5-minute. The way I'm seeing this with hindsight, right? Here's a pivot, here's a pivot, here's a pivot. We are technically looking at a possible downtrend. This is now a higher low, right? As soon as we broke that previous pivot and made another higher high, then we are now bullish and going to the upside, and that's why I was looking to buy right here during power hour, which I freaking closed that trade out early. As soon as I closed my trade, we just skyrocketed 100 points. That was a little frustrating. Yeah, I bought right here, right around like 300, 310, and we waited. I closed my trade out. I was long right here. You know what? You can probably see it. Let's see. That was something else. We could zoom into the 1 minute. Yeah, this is the 1 minute chart. Okay. Yeah, so that was my trade. That kind of sums up how I was feeling during power hour. Like, see, I bought here. I closed it right here, and as soon as I closed it, we skyrocketed, 100 points. So that was a little bit frustrating. But yeah, it's the same thing, and it doesn't matter what time frame. You could technically look at the same analysis from any time frame and consider the same thing. If we zoom in, and I talked about this during power hour, if we zoom in to something even as small as a 100 tick chart, which is a 100 tick chart is very, very small. I want to show you this because I was also looking at this before joining Power Hour. So this was right before Power Hour. And this is this is a 100 tick chart. And this was a change in trend in my mind. Okay. Same exact analysis. It doesn't matter what time frame. We were making lower highs, right? We're making lower lows. Lower high, lower low. As soon as we failed to make a lower low, that is the first, I guess what we could say, a breadcrumb, right? Like, there's a clue. We could be reversing trend. And then as soon as we broke right here, and we broke above this high, then that is a signal for me to say, okay, the market could be reversing. I talked about this during Power Hour. This is right like 10 minutes into Power Hour. And unfortunately, I was busy trying to get connected, connect my charts and my audio to join Topstep TV. And from there, it was just, that's where we kind of just rallied, 180 points from that point in time, right? That was just, look at that. Yeah, there we go. Like, that was the move. Like, take a look at that. I don't think I would have held it. Maybe I could have held it that long and trail it. But that was the trade, and that is an example of the trend reversing. Hindsight's 20/20, right? And it doesn't matter. This is a very, very small time frame, and regardless of whether you're on a 1-minute chart or a daily chart, the technical analysis, in my opinion, works the same. It's worked for me, and that's it, right? Anyone bearish luck to make it out pelt today? What's going on night shift? Where did you buy there? I didn't buy here, unfortunately. I did not buy here. I ended up waiting until we got this pullback, and I bought in this area. This is where I bought. This is 100 tick. Let me back out to some slow market because that's just a headache. Zooming in. So all of that on the 100 tick chart, where I did that analysis, was right there. It happened. It happened in a matter of like 5 seconds, right? So that was 5 seconds, maybe a minute or two. That whole reversal down there at the bottom, and then there was the first rally. There's the reversal, and then there's the second rally. Under what conditions would you have added to your NQ long? This is a good question, and let me show you this. Here is a possibility on how I would have added to my NQ long. If I would have got long down here in the 20s, let's just say my entry was here, and I entered 3 contracts. If I would have got long 3 contracts here, my stop loss, I would have made sure, have it here. And we rallied all the way up here. And maybe I took 1 or 2 or 3 contracts off around the, say I'm 6 contracts long down here. Or let's say 3 contracts. We rally, I take profit for 2. Then we get this pullback, and this trade sets up again, right? I would add position here. So I was already in 1 contract, 3 contracts long here, took a couple of contracts off for take profit. I would still be holding 1 contract here. When we pull back, I would then add for my second entry here, and then my average would probably be somewhere like this, right? That would be my average. That's a very rough example, but yeah, Jose Hera, my entry was around 18,300. That was around here. I missed this one. I got this one, but I got out early on that. So that was unfortunate. Like I said, that is the way I trade during the New York session and during fast markets. A lot different, right? It's a lot different than slow markets. However, the same analysis I'm doing tonight, the same analysis I do during my slow markets is the same way I trade during fast markets. I just have different time frames, and things move at a much quicker pace. So anyway, let's go ahead and talk about crude oil, and then we'll do some more Q&A and then be done. Crude oil. I am starting to become a little bit bearish on crude oil. I'm overall bullish, right? However, we are starting to see signs that crude could show even a bigger pullback, maybe a head and shoulders, right? Do we see a breakdown in crude? I hope so. I really do think that this could be an opportunity for crude oil to sell off. I would like to see crude have a pullback, very much like I was talking about gold. If we do see a pullback anywhere, then after we sell off, I'm going to be looking to buy. I've been waiting for a pullback in crude for a while now, since I've missed it. And I missed a lot of this move here with Topstep accounts because we've been so bullish. I think we should be getting a pullback in crude. I might be wrong. We could just rally, but this is a bit more bearish. It's not pretty. It's not good looking, but yeah, this could be a possibility for a head and shoulders. And this would be what do we want to say this? This is the neckline, and if we do break down, then we could look for some type of move down here. However, if we do sell off for $1 or $2, I'm not looking for a huge sell-off. I'm just looking for maybe 83, 84, some type of area. Like, we could call this a big zone. If we see the market come down in this area, I definitely will be looking to be getting into some long positions, maybe some options, maybe looking for like positions for 2 or 3 months down. But at Topstep, yeah, I'm definitely going to be looking for buying opportunities here, and then a continuation, and maybe we see above $90 a barrel by the next few months. We'll see. Danielle, I'm not going to be trading silver. I talked about gold, and these are the markets that I will be talking about. NASDAQ, crude oil, the Nikkei, and gold. I did trade gold today. This was my gold trade today. Yeah, this is my live account, guys, and this was I did trade gold. I short 3 contracts up here. I bought the 3 contracts down here for a take profit. Sold 3 contracts, added 6 more here to this position. Got out of here. So I did trade gold today. I guess I didn't really even talk about that, but yeah, that was these were my gold trades for today. I made like $2,600 on this, and let me see. I did trade gold even tonight as well. And everybody who joined my slow markets class early, so if you missed slow markets the first 5-10 minutes, you guys missed a beautiful trade. I was short. Let me actually even switch to my express funded accounts. That's an advantage. If you guys are here for the full time, like I said, slow markets, it might be slow, but we never know when the action will happen. I traded gold literally like 3 minutes before class as I was sitting here waiting. I got in short. I copy trade this amongst my 2 express funded accounts. You guys can see that here. 2 contracts I sold right before class started, and I took profit right 10 minutes after class. So if you guys missed that, that kind of sucks because you missed a great trade. That's an advantage, right, of showing up. But it was a good example where I'm trying to transition and start to trade gold a lot more. This is definitely one that I could have held a little bit longer, but like I said, because of news, I'm going to hold off. What made me short there? Can you explain that? I struggle with the entry. So did I do a bad job explaining that earlier? Here was something else I was looking for. Yeah, let's talk about this short because I think this can be important. let's talk about this short, and we could end class on gold. So if we look at a 60-minute chart, I'm going to go over this analysis again, and I'm going to do it really quick. If you missed it, then rewatch this. We had resistance here. We showed a lower high up here, maybe a double top, and we rallied back up into this resistance area. So I was looking for a short here, okay? Simple, straightforward. I went in more in depth at the beginning of the show. Then I zoomed into a 5-minute chart. And on the 5-minute chart, we had a beautiful trend line like this, okay? I think I had something like there, okay? And, you know, as we was holding this up, as soon as we broke below that, I got into my first contract, okay? We rallied up. We retested this area. I got into my second contract. My stop loss was up here, and I explained the rest in chat. My take profits were pretty much here, and as we got down there, I closed out for profit. This was one that I definitely could hold for even a further move. I think there's a possibility that we see 23,050 again, maybe back down into these lows. This is a very good possibility that we see this again. That's what I was possibly looking for. However, tomorrow we'll have, what do we call it? An effect on how I trade. So I think that's it for me in terms of my trading and my analysis. Tomorrow's big. We'll have a lot to talk to in terms of the market tomorrow. So let's do the Q&A tonight. And then tomorrow I'm going to focus more on the trading. So I think that's going to be a good complement. Less trading tonight, more about the markets tomorrow. Yeah, simple, right? Keep it super simple. Simplicity is key when it comes to complex things. If there's an edge in the market, to me, I think it's just risk management is my edge. Managing risk and keeping things simple. You'd be surprised how many traders I watch in Discord just complicate so much on their trading, right? So it's really 100% about simplicity. How simple can you make your trading, and how can you manage risk? And then from there, you can start to maybe experiment with some things. Just simple, right? Jan F, do you have a written trading plan? It's like a book, maybe a trading book, but it's not eligible, right? It'd be hard to read because I go over it every night. So maybe if you want to just take notes, and you could write my trading plan down. Coach Dakota, when you decide that a trend is broken and it's time to shift from bearish to bullish. Yeah, I think I answered that one. No, I don't have a book, CT Trades. I'm just saying that's about how big it is on what I look at the market. But if you guys do, like you guys 100% feel free. Like I said, these are recorded on YouTube. You could watch these slow markets classes all the time. Watch the recordings. Which time frame do you use to get in a trade? It depends on the market I'm trading, and it depends on the time of day. For example, my slow markets class, I like to execute my trades on a 5-minute chart. My analysis is on, say, a 60-minute, and my executions are on a 5-minute. For fast markets during the New York session, my analysis is on a 5-minute, and my executions are on a 100-tick chart. So it's a lot smaller time frame on the New York session versus the slow market session. Yeah, there you go, Danny. My trading plan is simple price action with proper risk management. Like that is my trading plan. That's a summary in 10 words. Yeah, top-down analysis. Yeah, how long ago did Mick move your account live? I don't know. I think January 15th, maybe February. I would say the end of January is when I started a live account here. How much time did it take me to become a profitable trader? A very long time. Let me see. So let me do a quick summary of because everybody's journey is different, and you guys know that. You guys hear it all the time. But I started learning about the markets when I was 10 to 12 years old. I started trading a bit older than that. I started my own account as soon as I turned 18 because we can only trade our own accounts when we turn 18. And I did not start, trading as a main source of income until, 21, 22. There wasn't really an aha moment, right? Like, when was the exact day did I become profitable? I would say 19 to 23 years old. A 3-year window, maybe it would be a guess. So I would definitely say 3 years for me. Some traders I see, it takes much longer. There's this one story. I have a story. There's a stay-at-home mother that I worked with a while ago, and she ended up, she was stay-at-home. She didn't have a job, right? And so it wasn't like, oh, I'm now full-time. She learned a very basic strategy that was very similar to price action that you guys see here. And she had zero bias, and she became a pretty good trader in 3 months and started using that as a part-time job as a full-time mother, only trading 2 to 3 hours a day, and used that to help pay her bills, and started doing really good. And then after, I think I haven't talked to her for a very long time. She was an older lady, and this was a while ago, but I think within 6 months she did amazing. So everyone has their own journey. Me, 3 years, but I was very young. I was going to college. I had a part-time job. I had a lot of other stuff going on with a crazy life, and I didn't really even focus too much on it. I was spending maybe some nights, if I'm lucky, 2 hours a day on this, amongst studies, amongst a part-time job. So it took me a while, right? And I'm sure there's traders here that's been trading for 10 plus years, and you still have your ups and downs. So yeah, it's very hard. I would much rather have a team of, now don't take this the wrong way, guys. I don't want to be canceled or deleted because of this, but yeah, I do believe that women make for better traders. And I don't know exactly why that is. It's 100% a psychological thing. But yeah, I firmly believe that women make better traders. And you guys could quote me on that. It's just the honest truth. I see better women traders than I do guys. It's just that the majority of us as traders are male. So that's the reality of it. Yeah, that's how it is. Yeah, males have crazy egos, right? It's all the testosterone, and we don't want to be wrong. I don't know. There's a lot to it. But I have to admit, because that's the honest truth from what I've seen and my own perspective and my own, limited world of trading. Yeah. Yeah, we go to war. It's like a battle for us, right? As men, we are looking at this as fighting. We're in a boxing match. We're in a fight. And plus, I don't know. It's interesting. Yeah, all right. I knew I was going to open up a can of worms. I wish I didn't say that. I'm a guy, and I have to admit that. That's just the reality. Would I teach my kids and younger generations how to trade? My answer is no. Would I teach my kids how to trade? No. I would not teach my kids how to trade in the aspect of you're going to become a full-time trader. No, I do not want my kids to be a full-time trader. I want to teach my kids market fluency, have them understand the market, have them understand, finance, how to understand charts and the markets, and maybe experiment with that if they want to. And I was talking to Rips earlier. If you're still in here, Rips, you could even, I was talking to him. It's like, hey, I'm on the leaderboard. Guess what? I made $100,000, in 2 months. And it's been a really good 2 months, right? Maybe in a year, we're happy with $100,000. Say I make $100,000 in a year trading, okay? I have to pay taxes on that. We have to go through all of this. Essentially, it's like, I have a great 9-to-5 job. It just has a lot more stress, and I sleep less. Because trading is a job. It's consistency. It's day in, day out. The reason why I like trading is because, I can do whatever I want, right? I'm my own boss. We could trade. I only spend a couple hours a day on this. Yep, there's Rips. I said that, right? I mean, it's the reality of trading is, the government always needs to take their cut. It's income. You're looking at this as a business. It's an income. You have expenses that comes, or you have, gross profit, you have expenses, and then you get a net income. So that's the reality of trading. It's not for the faint of heart. We all love it because, yay capitalism, and we have the ability to make a lot of money really fast. And there is no cap. There is no threshold for the amount of money we can make. We can make a ton of money trading, and that's why I love it. That's why I'm sure all you guys are here for it. That's the reality of it, right? But real day traders that do it for a living go through a grinding period, right? 3 minutes left. We'll get to some more questions. I do not hate men. I'm a man myself. All my friends are guys. Maybe I moved to Somalia. That now we're starting to talk. We moved to Somalia. It has a 0 income tax rate, and we could all be rich. Kenny, yeah, I built my PC. What I trade on is my PC, and I don't want to go into tax. I don't want to start talking about taxes and all that. My only recommendation is if you are going to go into trading full time, definitely talk to your own tax advisor because we have traders international, right? They're around the world. There's tax laws that apply state by state and around the world. And we could never advise on how to do taxes other than talk to a tax advisor, right? My question got lost, Dakota. Are you CFA or CIE licensed, and has it helped with your knowledge and trading style? I've been trying to get a chartered financial analysis or chartered a CFA, right? I've been working, and all my education is in finance, right? Because I've been working to get my chartered financial analyst and become that, right? I mean, I'm still studying, going through now to considering about working on getting my Series 6, my license, and going through that. It's a lot of work. A lot of it's very basic from what I've known and understood that. You have to keep up with it. You have to pay an annual fee. Has it helped me in the markets? No. Nope. It has not helped me trading. In terms of my, what do we want to say is, has my education, has any Series 6 or Series 7 helped me in becoming a profitable trader? I'm going to say no. None of that has helped me become profitable. It's made managing money a little bit easier, but I talk to traders all the time that are much better than I am, and they don't even have a college education. So you don't need an education to become a funded trader. and to make money in the markets. And that's why I'm saying that mom with kids, that stay-at-home mom, she didn't have a college education and she didn't have all these certificates, but yet she became a pretty good trader really quick. Screen time can't replace the books. 100% hoops. Sometimes I get into some heated debates and heated arguments between book smart, street smart, right? You have experience over education, or there's a lot. That's always a debate, right? And it's interesting to see. I will always go for experience over education to an extent, but I do believe that as traders and as we go through and gaining the experience of learning how to trade, we should never stop learning. We should always learn. I'm always studying. I'm working with Coach Jay, all of our other coaches. I'm watching rips in the morning to see, how they're trading. I'm learning, and I think we could all continue to learn while we gather this experience. Because I'm still learning. I'm not the best trader, and eventually I'm going to get rips to admit it. I am not the best trader. I'm an average trader. I am just trying to prove a point to everybody and hopefully help everybody here. Yeah, rips carved up the market, man. I wish I could trade like that. Maybe one day I'll be able to trade that type of momentum. Every time I try, I just can't. What's the goal, Dakota? Justin, my goal is to help traders. It really is. It's more fulfilling to have my class every single night because it's fun. I'm learning a lot, and that's why I'm here. And I'm doing it to you guys for free here on YouTube. So, yeah, this is just a hobby. Do I dare say this is a hobby? This is my hobby. Is helping you guys. Yeah, and like I said, we're kind of short on time. So I think that's it, guys. Yeah, I think that is it for me. Yep. So, all right, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a big day, right? If anything, don't trade it. If you do want to trade it, maybe scale down. There's going to be a lot of volatility. And I will have a lot to talk about tomorrow. And I will catch you then. Look for the top leaderboard. It feels good to be back. You guys will see the top 10 leaderboard. I'm glad that they were warming my seat while I was on a little vacation. So, okay. See you guys. Bye.